Nick Foles is more than capable because guess what? He's not going to have to see a Brady. Minnesota has a backup quarterback. Aaron Rodgers might come back, but right now they're on the outside looking in. Mm-hmm. You like Nick Foles head-to-head against Matt Ryan in that offense or Cam Newton in that offense with that defense Philly has? Skip, I believe they can do it. I actually believe, given the way the NFL is the way it's constructed right now and the teams that could possibly be in, I believe he can do it. With the way they run the football and the way they play defense, I believe he can make one or two throws during the course of the game that won't lose it, but will win it. There's no question in my mind he can get the job done.
And that's why you picked the Eagles before the year started to win the NFC East?
No.
Oh, I forgot.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You just jumped on the bandwagon at me.
You picked the Cowboys. That wasn't a question. Can they win the NFC East? Yeah. We can't talk about the Cowboys because they're not winning the NFC East. They lost all the tiebreakers.
But you picked
They lost all. Doesn't matter who I picked. Doesn't matter who I picked.
Giants.
Did you pick the Cowboys?
Giants.
Are the Cowboys going to win the NFC East? So we were both wrong.
No, but they might make the playoffs.
We'll
talk about that in just
They don't hold the tiebreakers over anyone.
I got it. Back to the Philadelphia Eagles, your new team. First of all, I want to say about Carson Wentz that I hated seeing him get hurt. I root against him because I'm a Cowboy fan and I don't like the Eagles. So because you suddenly leaped on the Wentz bandwagon.
I was always on his bandwagon.
You have been, but on their bandwagon, I have rooted against him all year. I did not want to see him go down. This is another big star that the league has lost, and it's just not good for anybody.
When you saw that hit, what was the first thing go through your mind? RG3. I was having lunch. Yeah. That was the first thing I thought. I said, that's RG3. Because remember, RG3 leg got
sandwiched. Yep. He got leg whipped.
Yep.
And unfortunately, the play didn't even count. So that's
what makes it.
I know. That's what was terrible about it. So I wish him a speedy recovery. I'm hoping against hope it's not as bad as they thought, but everybody seemed to think it was really bad because everybody last night was so down coming out of that locker room. Now, back to what happened in the game. Talk about a meant-to-be magic carpet ride of a year. I also thought there were two big penalties on the Rams that helped turn the tide in the game. The first one was on Tremaine Johnson. He got a trash talk penalty after he had broken up a deep pass on Jeffrey, and it led to the sequence at the goal line in which Carson Wentz got hurt, but it led to points. It led to a touchdown. And again, I admire Carson Wentz for sucking it up and gutting it out. I guess Doug Peterson had no idea he was really hurt, but you could see if you study the replays of the video of it, he's limpy already. Mm-hmm. And I'm with you. I thought it didn't look very good. Mm-hmm. And yet he throws one high and way outside off target, and then it gets to 4th and goal. And I was surprised. I thought they just take the field goal.
Skip, you get out of my head. I'm like, no, what are you doing? Just take the point.
Take the points.
But I forgot he had walking to him.
Oh, he had
walking. He said, I was going to hand it. Hey, Wentz, go hand this ball in the end zone to Alshon.
And you know what? I don't think he actually handed it to him.
Yeah, he did.
I'm still convinced. I think because remember, he wanted to go to Trey Burton, and he looks to his right, and he starts to throw it and then brings it down, and then he looks quickly to his left, and he's standing flat-footed because he can't turn hard on his left knee, and he just flips it sideways, and I think he might have been aiming at Aguilar cutting across. I'm not sure.
He wanted to put it on his back hip.
It's behind Alshon, and he reaches down and just picks it up off just picks it clean right off the turf. It was a heck of a little catch. It was a little
heck of a throw.
But it was.
He didn't want to give it to Burton.
It was not a heck of a throw. But
he said to Burton, I already got you 2 tubs. Let me feed Alshon because he's nice.
So then in comes Nick Foles, and we have a couple of sequences of going for field goals, but I guess it was the first field goal sequence. It gets to be a 54-yard field goal, which the kid makes because he makes everything he looks at. But they get this penalty for leverage, and even Mike Pereira said on Fox, I know you have the sound turned down, he said, I'm sorry, I can't see it. And I keep looking at it, it's just phantom.
I think if the guy leaves his feet, Skip, if you ever leave your feet, you can't land on somebody.
Yeah, but he went right over the top.
But if his feet, if any part of your body, once you leave the ground, if any part of your body lands on someone else, even if it's just your cleats, they're going to call it.
Well, I didn't see anybody land on anybody else. And in the end, you give them the ball back, and even though they don't score a touchdown, they just eat the clock. They ate 2+ minutes of the clock, which became crucial at the end of the game.
Correct.
So those two calls obviously went against the Eagles. Now back to Nick Foles. back in 2013, I don't know, on the old show, I don't know how many topics we did on Nick Foles, real or imagined. You know, like,
Yes.
is he real or fake? And I started calling him Foles Gold, as in fool's gold, because I just didn't think he would last. It was Chip Kelly.
Right.
And not only did he last, but he kept throwing touchdown passes and more touchdown passes. He threw 7 against the Raiders. Remember that? And he winds up with 27 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. And I must admit, he grew on me through the year.
Right.
Because he's another one of those Austin, Texas, high-powered throwing high school products.
Threw it all in college. He threw it all in,
You know,
threw it in high school.
He went to Drew Brees High School.
Yeah.
Austin
Southlake?
Westlake. Austin Westlake. And Baker Mayfield came from Austin Travis. There's been a whole bunch of throw it all over the lot guys who come out of Austin. But he went on to Arizona. He actually went to Michigan State first. Then he went to Arizona, and he threw it, and he threw it, and he threw it. And he's 6'6", 245. So he's got big pocket presence. And I know he can't move like Carson Wentz, but he comes in, and the first play he runs, he takes it down against the rush, and he goes for 9 yards up the middle. And I was like, that's Nick Foles? Because I thought the Rams, it was a big advantage Rams with Nick Foles. But then I start thinking, and I look at his track record, he started 36 games in his life. That's a lot of starts.
Yeah.
And he's 20-16 overall, but he's 15-10 as the Philly starter.
Right.
So you don't think he knows how to do this, what it feels like? And remember that year in 2013, they had a playoff home game against New Orleans, and he played pretty well. It was cold that night, but he threw for 195, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, had a QBR of 82, which is very high, and it went to the bitter cold end because it took a Sproles was playing for New Orleans then, a punt return with a horse collar that set up a walk-off field goal for New Orleans. So it was a close game. It was 26-24. And Foles actually played well enough to win that playoff game. So I'm looking at all the backup quarterbacks in football. Who has a better backup than Nick Foles?
Right.
I mean, you could argue Sam Bradford and
Case Keenum.
and
Keenum's the thing.
and
Starter
obviously-
now. Yeah.
yeah. But Teddy Bridgewater, they're like incumbents. I mean, they're like they've been the starters. So you could say they have a better quarterback.
But Foles has more starts than Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, he does. No, I mean, he is made to order for this. He obviously knows the offense. He trusts the coaches. They trust him. So I can't bet against him because I am willing to admit this much. This is a loaded football team.
They defense.
They have their top 3 receivers are better than any one of my Cowboy receivers. Seriously.
And they
I'll take any of the 3.
I mean, I'm thinking, okay, they're going to suffer a little bit without Earth. But Burton comes in and he's catching
Trey Burton is really good.
catching everything, Skip. And that little kid Clements,
he is good.
Sproles,
He's electric. Yeah, he's electric.
And now Big V, they're going to. I was wondering, like left guard, how many times are you going to let Aaron Donald beat you inside? The one thing don't let him beat you inside because he's closer to the quarterback, Skip. So he's going to be right there in the quarterback's face. Make him go around the edge so now the quarterback can step up in the pocket. I thought Quinn and Aaron Donald, I thought they were going to be Eagles by themselves because they ain't fooling with Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson was giving folks business on that right side. Gonna give y'all the business too. But that's neither here nor there. The Eagles got this. Walk it to him, doing what I said he would. All I know is this. When Eric Dickerson comes on here, he coming tomorrow, he better come dressed as Santa Claus. He better come bearing gifts because I needs me. Yeah, I told him what was going to happen. I need all that, Skip.
What did you guys bet?
5th.
Oh, that's right.
And I got something for you, too, the last game of the
you
season.
pled the 5th or you bet?
I bet a 5th.
Okay.
I got something for you, too, the last game of the season.
Do you?
I know what you're hoping, but it ain't going to happen.
Well, your guys aren't even going to play the last
We
game.
playing because they trying to get home field throughout. They playing. They playing.
Really?
And we would like to see y'all. We would like to make sure you guys finish 8-8 or below.
Well, you know why I was crushed last night? Because I thought when Nick Foles came in, I thought, I got this. And if the Eagles had lost that game and then they start to teeter a little bit and they go to New York and they lose to the Giants and they lose to the Raiders, and all of a sudden that last game would be for all the divisional marbles.
If you're not a tenured Giant, you live in a hotel or not the hotel, or an apartment, you've already cut off the power, Joe. You stayed in the hotel the last 2 weeks. You done had the rental furniture. They come and pick that up. You done turned off the cable, the lights. You just stayed in the hotel.
That's not what I saw yesterday, but
Skip,
maybe I was watching a different game.
You were watching a different game.
What a year, huh? These